What did he do? Homework? No, you're supposed to cross off the notes. Okay, so you people, sorry, I started the video too soon. I got an incident up here. All right. I don't even know where I'm going here. Good start to the video. All right, here we go. Shh. Okay, so I'm going to do these notes, but the whole back page of the notes, cross them off. And I'm telling this to the people. We have a massive amount of absences today. Massive. All right, another not Christmas, another winter break for some people here. But what we did, and I don't know why I closed it again. Gosh, dog it. So I gotta bother doing this again. Don't look at my password. For the back side of the notes, I wanted to reference AP Classroom. So those that are absent, go to AP Classroom and get a little buzzing in my ear. I don't know if there's a little feedback. And do this video 2.14 daily video 1. It's about 7 minutes long. I handed the students that are in class today the note sheet that went with it. That takes if I was better about this, I would have your backside of the notes would have been her notes and not the other one. I wasted a piece of paper. But I made that decision when I walked in. But you can see the backside. There's these random formulas with random questions about them, just like she had random formulas with random questions there. I do like the beginning of our notes here too. I think maybe the AP program guesses that you've seen these formulas before, maybe in a previous class. That might be true. Maybe Math 3 does this. I know Math 3 does a lot of logarithm stuff. But they're money examples, except this first one. And I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I screwed this up first hour because I didn't look at it ahead of time enough. Because number one in our notes has nothing to do with money. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Oh, okay, I get it. This is, remember, for exponential functions, they look like this. I shouldn't put equals there. Should put like an arrow. A times B raised to the X. We already did like I mentioned in class on Monday, we're going to do regressions from data points. We're going to come up with an equation using our calculator. We already did regressions with exponents. All right. And that was the format. But here, B is really a number that's either greater than 1 or less than 1. And that B value tells you what the rate of growth or decay is. All right. And so these formulas are synonymous. So when we look at this first question, it's not a money question. Then I'll go to the money formulas when we talk about example 2. Break those down. A severe drought, population of lions is decreasing by 3.5%. What does that mean R is up here? What is R, positive or negative? Negative. So that means B is going to be less than 1. We've already done this. You had a whole bunch of analysis questions back in the exponential chapter about this. All right. But anyway, keep reading. How long does it take for 80 lions to turn into 15 if this rate continues? Well, it's going to be this formula, y equals a, initial population. 1 is just like no change. If 1 was our base, there'd be no change. So a rate of increase or decrease makes that change happen. And I'm not going to, if you don't know it's 0.035, you're killing me. We actually did have some problems with that in class, people not moving decimals correctly from percents. I shouldn't have to teach that. All right. And then, okay, so 80 turns to 15. Some people screw that up. They put 80 first and 15 second. 80's decreasing to 15 in how long? So that's my A value. And then 1 minus becomes, this is 0.965 raised to the T. So here's what word problems are. You got to read it. You got to insert the numbers in the right spot. And then it turns into what we've done 4 days in a row, solving, in this case, an exponential. So what am I going to do first in solving this now that we're in the solving part? Tell me, divide. And guess what? I'm going to be lazy and leave this. I'm going to leave it as 15 over 80. Move this over here. 15 over 80. Yeah, I got to watch. My big fat head is probably like right here, right, Mo? Because I can't see it on the right. I think it's higher up. Oh, I think it might be up here. Yeah, maybe. Okay, equals 0.965. I'm sorry, WeVideo. WeVideo, you stink. I want Screencastify. I made a video second hour. For the third time this year, I lost a video. Just lost it. Got nothing from, what do you call that? When you call a place to get help? Customer service. WeVideo. All right, anyway. And then, what do I got to do? Change it to a what? Log. Now, I'm going to, oh, John is in here. John, you got mentioned. We're going to do what John has to do, because you know what? I think John is going to be faster than everyone else. I really do. Because John, when he goes to the calculator, doesn't have that fancy little logarithm button. And by the way, if you come up to me and say, where's that button at on a test? What am I going to tell you? Sit down. I'm going to kick you right back to your desk. All right? You need to know where it's at. But here's what John gets to do. What was it? 15 over 85? So is log base blah of 15 over 85. Here's the change of base. 15 over 80. 15 divided by 80. And then just press enter. Log of answer divided by log of base, which was 0.965 according to my memory, right? John can do that faster than you searching for your buttons. All right? I didn't hit divide. Wah, wah, wah. Log 15 divided by 80. Enter divided by answer log 0.965. Enter, and then 46.98. And is that the answer? Oh, the pen just deactivated. Oh my gosh. That is the answer. So T equals, and then what does it say to round it to the nearest hundredth? Oh no. Okay, no, that's fine. 46. Stop poking him. 46.99 years. Okay, and then, oh, I should ask you that. What's the label on that? Well, it's time and it's in years. Okay, next. All right, not next. Now the next one's about money. Now let's talk about these. How many people have a savings account? Please raise your hand as if you're paying attention. All right, how many people get a statement in the mail or online? They get a statement. Usually what that statement means is you got an interest payment. Okay, that's what it means. Does anyone know how often you get it? Like every 3 months, maybe? Anyone? Every month? Anyone? No one knows. Okay. It's usually one of the other. And I'm going to make this real simple. Let's say you get it just pay attention. Every 3 months. So that's cool. Anyone quarterly. Thank you. All right. So quarterly. Let's say you get 4% interest. You don't. Savings accounts are terrible. They are very bad and low, but I made this easy. So here's what you get if you get a 3-month statement. Say you put $100 in your savings, making my numbers easy so it's easy to understand, and you get 4% over a year. In 3 months, you get an interest payment, but you get 1/4 of 4% paid right now. What's 1/4 of 4%? This is why I chose it. 1%. What's 1% of $100? So at 3 months, your account will be $101. Got it? And that dollar is yours. Now what happens at 6 months is a little bit special, not much. At 6 months, you will get 1% of $101. See, if it was this formula over here, this would be simple interest, and you would get 4% at the end of the year. At the end of the year, your account would be worth $104. This one, you're getting 1% of $101 at the 6-month mark, which is a little bit more. So at the end of the year, you'll have a little bit more money than the first account. Does that make sense? That's all I want you to know. That's what the N is in this formula. The N is how many times they decide to give you that interest payment over the year. All right? And that's how it works. You don't get 4% every 3 months. You get 1/4 of 4% 4 times over the year. And then that's why there's N in 2 spots. Remember I said 4% divided by 4. Are you okay over here? Okay, you're never watching up here. All right? And you get it how many times a year? How many times a year do you get 4% quarterly? 4 times. That's why N is in 2 positions. Students used to have this memorized. That's why I go over this. But actually, it's better to kind of understand your formula a little bit, why the numbers are where they're at. Then that makes your life a little bit better. What's daily? How many days are there on average in a year? 365. Then I brought this up, and the girl almost fell out of her desk. Like, what? Do you know what kind of year this is? Leap year. So that means you get one extra day with Mr. Samuelis. She almost threw up on the floor. Okay. All right. Yeah. Huh? What? No. All right. All right. So this would be 365. Oh, wait a minute. Here's what happens when n turns into infinity. What? That's better than every second. You may think this is crazy, but when n turns into infinity, it actually turns into this formula. So when n turns into infinity, it turns into this continuous compounding formula. And I used to bore the students by deriving this formula into that one, because n is defined by an expression. And when I put infinity into n, then e's expression comes out of that through some mathematical manipulation. No one cares. Here's what your job is. You don't have to have those memorized. They'll be listed in some way on your test. You just need to access the right formula. Got it? So when I look at this, which formula am I using when it says compounded quarterly? Am I using the E formula or the N formula? N. What's quarterly? We just called it. It's 4. So, and don't screw this up. 2300 turns into 4150. So I will write the formula again. A of t means amount over time equals principal 1 plus, because I do what I do, I have it memorized. R over N, because I understand the formula, and T, because I understand the formula. Divided by N times a year. That's why N is in this twice. Okay, so 4150 is the amount after time. This is different than the Lions. We're increasing 2300 to 4500. And then 1 plus R. Really hope I'm still taping. I guess it does. I do have that light on. I must have hit something wrong. Maybe it wasn't you, WeVideo, but I will tell you, WeVideo, you are driving me nuts this year. You need to get your program to be as good as Screencastify. A 30-minute video should not take 1 hour to get on YouTube. Sorry, I'm yelling at WeVideo. I should send it to him. I've lost 3 videos this year. 3! Which makes me want to lower these 2 fingers right now. That's how I feel about this program that I've been forced to use. Sorry. Okay, what do we do next? Say that thing I just did. Divide. Now, what I will do is this. I will cancel the zeros. And then I do have to go to my calculator once. 1 plus 0.09. 1 plus 0.09 divided by 4, which does end up being 1.0225. Okay, so I could write this down now. I'm going to leave this. AP, very nice. They don't, they're not real big on simplification. You know, they don't get mad if you don't reduce. We feel they better not, because that's what a lot of their stuff has shown. But now I'll go to the calculator one more time. But base, exponent, answer. You know, this is why once you get the numbers plugged in, all it is order of operations, and then get change a log. In this case, change an exponent to a log. So it's a log. Let me put 4t on this side. So 4t's on this side equals. Sorry, that's me. Not complaining about anything else other than my brain. Log base 1.0225. Do not round, by the way. Do not round that to 1.02. Never round. You leave these all the way out, plug them in all the way out, and then you can maybe round your final answer. You never round until the end. In logarithms, you can really affect an answer by bad rounding. It really does happen. Okay, and then maybe this time I'll show you the other way. So second window, 5, and then watch what I do. Log base, the base is that answer that I had there. So I can use that feature, and therefore it is not rounded. All right, and that is good. And then what was it? 415 divided by 230. Is that right? By the way, when should you go to the dentist? When should you go to the dentist? 230. You get it? I've used that one many times in the past. And then what do you do with that? Divide by, say it, 4, because it was 4t, 6.63. By the way, being in this class, you get to use all my jokes as your own when you leave this class. They're yours now. That's yours, Mo. You get to use that. You get to use it. Okay? He wasn't even listening. Now it's like a new joke because he wasn't even paying attention to me. He's like, well, that's the best joke I've ever heard. Okay. 230. I could have swore I've said that. That's the first time I said that joke this year in here. Oh. Which formula should I use now? Compounded monthly. N or E? N or E? Still N. What's N? Monthly. 12. Okay, so they invest 15,000, 6.5% interest to have twice the amount that they used to have. Now I know this is probably not going to resonate with everyone, but sometimes we didn't even give you an initial of that investment. We would say, hey, 6.5 interest in a monthly compounded thing. How long would it take for my money to double? And then people would panic. What money? Doesn't matter. If I had $1, if it doubles, what does it become? $2. If I had $1,000, what does it become if it doubles? 2,000. You make up numbers, but they did give me 15,000. So what does 15,000 become? 30,000. If you can't figure that out for doubling, that's a problem. But we did get people locked up when we used to not give a dollar amount at all and just say, how long would it take for any account to double? You make up numbers because guess what? You're going to divide. What's this going to be over here when I divide by 15,000? 2. So 1 and 2, you'd get 2 over there. 1,000, 2,000, you get a 2 over there. So doubling, what would tripling be? What will we end up over here? No one picked up on what I just said there. 15,000 turned into what? 45. What's 45,000 divided by 15,000? 3. So tripling, there'd be a 3 over there. Quadrupling, 4. Blah, blah, blah. All right. And then 1 plus. This one is not a nice decimal. 0.065 divided by 12. This is, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts with our calculator. So this is 2, and then this is 1 point. I just really need 0.065 divided by 12, and then I just tack a 1 on it. Oh, yeah. So we're going to really got to use that calculator. That is eventually rounded, but it goes all the way out there. That's 666 repeating. So here's how I'm going to write it. 1.005 ... This is telling me that I better not round this. If I made this 1.01, you would drastically change your final answer and you will get nicked for a rounding error. There is no two ways about it. But this is actually easy. Base, exponent, answer. So really all I have to do is 12t equals log base that ugly decimal that I am not going to round of 2. And then the last thing I'm going to do is divide by a big fat 12. So I go to my calculator. Let's go old school on this one. So it is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to go up to the here and do it. So it is, what was the numerator? 2, right? So log of 2, correct? Right? Enter, and then divided by, I almost forgot that I did forget that one time. Log of, well, I see that there, and it's not 0.0. I should have added 1 plus. So it's 1.005. I am not rounding. 4, 1, 6, 6, 6, devil 6. What? 7. Enter. What did he say? And then what do I do? Divide by what? 12. So I'm doing it John's way. I actually like John's way the best. John, you keep getting mentioned. 10.69 watts. Years again. All right, and then just to speed this up, Which one do I use when it says compounded continuously? N or E? E. So this is an easy one. A of t equals P. Sometimes I just drop the A of t. I just put A. And then 4,000 turns into 55. You get it. All you have to do is insert the numbers, and it turns into what we've done for 4 days. It's really what's the general idea here. And then, at what interest rate for this to turn into that in 5 years? It's R that I don't know. So I'll highlight that like I did at what interest rate. So I don't know the interest rate. So the unknown is just a little different thing. Of course, you're going to divide first, and then divide first and lop off the zeros. That at least gives you less typing to do. 4,000, right? Yeah. 2 zeros gone. And then that's gone. And then I'm ready. Base, then exponent, then answer. What's log base E, though? What's log base E? ln of 55/40ths, and then that equals 5R. And then you could type this on your calculator. You don't need me for that. John can even do that one fast, right? John, you have an ln button. You don't need to do that thing. And then this one isn't really any big deal. This kind of goes into what she did, her notes, because it's not a money example. It's a random question about YouTube videos, 50 views, and then how many views it increases by is somehow by this formula that they found. All right. How long does it take for it to be 2,500? Well, that's just this. And it's more of the same. So 50E. So this has nothing to do with money. This is like her examples earlier. Again, you divide by 50, change it to a logarithm, solve. You don't need me for that. All right. All right. Sound good? I like that other lady. She's nice and peaceful. And I hopefully, yes, I do have this video work.